Last night, we had a great night of NBA basketball. I think there were 8 or 9 games. I'm not exactly too sure. I watched a couple of them. I didn't watch some of them. But overall, there were some great performances. There were some great games, some great storylines. We'll start off with the first game of the day, Magic versus 76ers. If you're not a Magic fan, you might not be completely aware, but the Magic are literally decimated by injuries. We have our young core. We have our young team. But this year, our team just gets destroyed by injuries. But overall, Franz Wagner, he had a terrific game, 27, 6 and 5. He was one of the first rookies, I think it was, since Cole Anthony, Victor Oladipo, and someone else to do it. So overall, it was a pretty impressive game for Franz Wagner. Philadelphia, I will say, there were some stretches for Philly where it just seemed like they couldn't knock down the ball. And it's not like that they don't have the scores for it. It just felt like they weren't working as hard sometimes, or like the ball just wasn't going in for them. One thing that really kept Philly in the game is they were making a lot of contested shots. And for a team to make that many contested shots, I don't know if it's more impressive or more disappointing because they're not getting open looks. But overall, it was a pretty great game to watch. I did enjoy it. Yeah, I thought my Magic were going to get blown out, but we held our own and we came back. Jalen Suggs, he did injure his hand, which really does suck. But hey, overall, Magic game versus Sixers, pretty good game. I can't lie to you. Our core, it's going to take time to develop. It's going to take a while. I'm ready for the long haul. Next up, we have the Denver Nuggets versus the Miami Heat. And this game, I didn't really watch it because it was never really a close game to say. It was more like Denver was winning most of the game, and then Miami never really came back. So I didn't really watch this game. I was going to look out for this game because, we have the whole Jokic brothers drama with the Morris twins drama. But nothing really happened. They were at the game, but it wasn't like they were going to run on the court. I mean, you run on the court, you get lifetime bans from the NBA, especially being a sibling of an NBA player. So obviously, I didn't think too much was going to happen in that Heat game. It was a pretty game to watch. Aaron Gordon did drop 20 points. And look, me, as a certified Aaron Gordon disliker, I'm not a hater because I do want the guy to succeed. But overall, he played a pretty great game in 37 minutes. He played a good game. He made 2 threes. Overall, he's stepping up for Denver, which is really what they need. Aaron Gordon, hey, if he wants to say, look, I can be the third option on this team, right now is his time to prove it. Without Jamal Murray, he has nothing but opportunity. Without Michael Porter Jr., nothing but opportunity. Expect Denver to rely on Aaron Gordon a lot this season. And trust me, if they don't, they're going to have nothing else. Denver's going in shambles right now from all of their injuries, and I know how they feel. It sucks. But Denver, they're really fighting injuries. I'm glad they were able to get Jokic back at least for tonight to play against Miami. And overall, the Nuggets did win the game. Next up, we have the Bulls versus Hornets game. And I have to say, this was one of the more fun games of the night. This was one of those games I was really looking out for. Look, you got the Ball brothers battling. You got the Hornets. The Hornets are just a fun team to watch. And right now, my second favorite team in the NBA has to be the Chicago Bulls. And then after the Bulls, the Warriors. I'm sorry. I love the Warriors. I love how Curry plays. But the Bulls, man, they look good. Obviously, Nikola Vucevic, he had a monster game. The man dropped 30 points. And it really feels good to see it happening because we've seen Vuce struggling to start the season. Because, hey, you're used to playing where everybody feeds you the ball and you get the bucket. And now he's sort of playing as a third, fourth option, so it can be really complicated for him sometimes, and that's totally fine because, hey, he's still finding his footing. The Bulls roster is basically new. They turned it over, and overall, the Bulls are looking great. I do believe that there'll be a second-round exit, maybe a conference appearance. That's not a disappointment for the Bulls. Just making the playoffs this year is going to be a huge success, and if you can make it to the second round, even better. It's all going to depend on who they match up with. Obviously, there are some more things that they could add to this roster, but overall, their roster is looking great. Hornets, I did think at one point they might take the game because there was one point in the fourth quarter where they came back from like 15 or 20 points, and they cut the gap to about like 4 or 5 points. And then from there, Zach LaVine, Vucevic, DeRozan, they just took over the game and absolutely destroyed the Hornets lineup. But Terry Rozier did have a good game. Terry was playing good. He was a little bit scary. The Ball brothers, it wasn't really their type of game, so to say. Neither one of them two really showed out. They played good, but none of them really battled against each other like how everyone was hyping it up to be. But overall, good game. The Bulls do win, and they do have one of the better records in the East. Next up, I did not watch any of Houston versus Oklahoma just because it's the Rockets and it's the Thunder. They're not really my teams. So in reality, I'm not gonna watch them too often. I will say though, I did see the Kevin Porter triple double, which was pretty hilarious. How his teammate just tipped it to him, and they're like, "Oh, get the ball, get the ball!" And then you see him running to get the ball, and then he gets his triple double. So that's great to see. He got his first career triple double, which hey, for any player, that's a huge milestone. No matter your age, no matter your height, it doesn't matter. A triple double is a huge deal in the NBA. Next up, we have Indiana versus Minnesota. I only watched the final minute of this game, and I'll give you a quick recap. Basically, what happened is the Pacers were down like 10 points with like 3 minutes left, and then before you know it, they're only down by 2 points with like 30 seconds left. So I tuned in, watched that, and then they just fouled, and then they shot free throws. The game ended in free throws. I didn't watch that game. I wasn't too interested in it. So, hey, Minnesota, they're on a little win streak, which I am happy for. I do want the Minnesota Timberwolves to succeed in this NBA. And I think they're the 4th seed right now. So they're making improvement and they're getting better. Now, the thing is, can they sustain it? We've seen this before where Minnesota goes on a little win streak and then they lose 10, 20 in a row. So let's see if the Timberwolves can hold this win streak together. And finally, the game that I need to speak about. Clippers versus Pelicans. Okay, no one in their damn mind expected this to even happen. Jonas Valanciunas is the second coming of Stephen Curry. There is no greater shooter than Jonas Valanciunas in the NBA right now. And I'm not even joking. He has the highest three-point percentage in the NBA. The guy is insane. He is on record of to beat Kyle Korver's three-point percentage record. The guy is insane. Look, is it sustainable? I have no idea. He dropped like 39 points last night, and he had 7 threes to go along with it. He shot 8. He only missed 1 3. Insane. Now, obviously, all these threes, he had them before halftime. So once I saw he had 7 threes, I was like, yo, do you think he's going to try to get at least to 10 threes this game? Obviously, it didn't happen, but it didn't matter because what he did was good enough to get the Pelicans a 20-point lead over the Clippers heading into the third quarter, which was extremely impressive. But overall, it was a great game. Jonas Valanciunas, second coming of Stephen Curry. I don't know, bro. His three-point shooting this season has been insane. Those are all of the games that happened yesterday. Now, tonight, there are some great games like Knicks versus Nets, which I am very excited to watch, and I will be watching that. But overall, all the games that were played, most of them were pretty not so close games. Most of them were blowouts, or they were just boring matchups. But overall, it was a good game. It was a good night for the NBA. So, again, thank you guys so much for watching. Be careful for the next coming of Stephen Curry and Jonas Valanciunas coming to an arena near you to destroy your favorite team. And again, thank you all so much for the love and support. I truly do appreciate it. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the button to be notified for every single time I upload. And I will see you all on the next one.